Hi everybody, it's Bruce with Nature Calls, and today I am going to be making some new pot cozies for one of my pots, and thought I'd take you along on the ride. What I'm talking about is when you have, say, titanium cookware, which is really lightweight and awesome for its lightweightness, but one of the things that happens is it loses heat really quickly. It gains heat really quickly, and it loses heat really quickly. And so if you're trying to conserve fuel, like you don't even have to bring it up to a boil if you use a pot cozy. And what a pot cozy does is it insulates it and keeps food warm a long time actually. So what you can essentially do is, say, just bring it to a boil, turn your stove off, so now you're conserving fuel, put this whole pot into a pot cozy and then cover it up and let it steep for quite a while, and then that it'll just go a lot longer. In the end, it'll work just great, and also keep your food warmer, especially if it's during the winter time. But what a pot cozy, so here's one of my other ones. This is my little 500 titanium pot set, and just by itself it would lose heat really quickly, and I would use this for coffee, and the coffee would definitely go cold way too quickly. So I made a pot cozy, and so when this is hot, I just slip it inside the pot cozy, and it also has a lid, so if I'm rehydrating food, it'll all just sit in this little unit and rehydrate the food, and I don't have to worry about heating it up anymore. So what you need is this insulation. It's called Reflectix. It's something you get at a hardware store, and I've never seen it really at a little hardware store, like a big box store like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, something that's big. It's in the insulation section, and you can get it in like this is, I think, is a 24-inch roll, and it was like 25 feet long. I've made some pads for winter to put underneath my sleep pad, and now I'm making some pot cozies out of it. You just get plenty of it, so it'll last you quite a while. So what it is like a bubble wrap that is backed on either side with like a mylar plastic. The other thing you want to get while you're there, right where they sell this, usually on a shelf, it's right with it, is this aluminum tape. And it is also made by the Reflectix company, and it just is made for taping this stuff together. You could use duct tape or even packing tape. I've used all those, but this just works super well, and this roll will probably last you your whole backing career. Plus, I think this is about 6 feet of this. This should last me in my lifetime. So you need a roll of that, and your Reflectix, some scissors, and Sharpie or some kind of pen to mark on the Reflectix, and you can use a ruler if you want, but it actually has like grids that you can cut along real easy. I guess one thing about this is it doesn't have to be just perfect. In fact, it'll get, when it's stuffed in your bag, it'll get munched and crunched, and don't worry about necessarily making it just perfect, unless that's who you are, then make it perfect. So the pot that I'm going to be making the cozy for is this Snow Peak 900 as the pot, and then it also has this little skillet thing. Side note, you can get another lid, just a lid if you don't want to use the skillet thing, but I'm going to keep it all as one unit, and so let's get started. First part we're going to concentrate on is this bottom section. And let's get rid of my stuff here. And so what you want is to wrap it all the way around. Just wrap it around, and then find out where it marks. So that wraps all the way around. Now if you're going to have something to drink out of, you might want to measure it down so you can put your lips on the edge of the pot. This is a bigger pot, so I'm going to bring it right up to the very edge of it. Now up, down, through, and right out there, right out there. Now we'll find a straight edge to mark that off. And we can just use some more of this. And now I will just cut that out. The next stage is to seal up the end. You don't have to do that, but it just makes it easier when you're putting your pot inside it, in and out of it. And for that we will use this aluminum tape. And I don't think you have to, use the whole thing. So I like to cut it in half, and it doesn't have to be perfect because you can overlap it. But I'll cut this in half. Now we just have to find my big goofy fingers. Just got to separate the end. Okay, so then just set it like halfway. Now just trim it off a little bit. Now we just fold it over a little bit at a time. Now we have it like so, and if it's a little bit too tight, you can just not overlap it as much. It's not going to make that big a difference. So I got a little bit tight, but I'm not going to just start over again. So I'll just when I put the joining tape, which I like to use the full width, and so I will double that over like so. And I don't start on that, I start on the bottom, this rough edge. On that, and then let's bring up this other side. There'll be a little bit of a gap there. Bring it around. Just pull that under. The pot just goes right in. Like so. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut out where the handles are, and I may do that on this pot. Let's go ahead and do that. You don't have to. Roughly be there. And there. Fold those back in. feel through there where the bottoms of those handles are. Alright, let's cut that out. This has a little bit, goes in a little bit, so I'm going to actually go in a little bit. Now, handles, just like that. Finish those off with a little bit of tape just to keep it all looking good. Put the bottom on. You can do it whatever way makes sense to you. You can take the pot out and go around the pot that way, or you can do it around this way. In the end, as long as it fits one way or the other, I'm just going to do it around this outside here. And then we can trim it to fit later on. I like to cut mine a little bit bigger, and then you can trim it all later. This will be taped on the bottom. So it can be, you can have it so it fits on the inside or it fits on the outside. It really isn't going to matter. Looks good. So now I'll put a piece of tape, a full width piece of tape, all the way around the outside. I guess it's not mission critical that it's perfect again. Take your time on this part. Just work your way around it. Try and get half on the bottom part of it. You want to just go around and make some snips about every inch or inch and a half. This is just like aluminum foil, so it'll all be formed just great. It'll form really nice. So you got a little snips. We'll put our base inside there, and just bring one tab over at a time, and you'll feel where it goes. So it'll all start overlapping as you go around. There we have it all the way around the bottom. Turn it over, just gonna squish it down around. There we have the bottom part of our cozy. And so now we will make the top for it. We have with this top is this little skillet. So we're going to make a similar thing for the top. I'm not going to do a cutout for this part. I'm going to leave it all so it's all enclosed when it's in the cozy state. So I will get the top done and be back with you in a minute. Alright, so here is my pot cozy all finished. Here's the top, and the skillet's down inside there. And I could have made this maybe an inch lower, but it's not going to hurt it any. And so that is the whole thing all together. So that will definitely insulate great. Got the pot handles right there. So go on the fire, put it in there, close the handles down, put the lid on it, and just let it sit there and steep. So that's my 900, this is my 500, and so let's see what kind of damage we did. So that's 4.6 ounces for that pot. Put the lid on it. So the whole thing together is 6.8 ounces just by itself. So that on. So now we are up to 5.4, and we put that on. 6.8 ounces up to 8.6 ounces. So 244 grams for the whole thing together. And that by itself is 193 grams. So there you go. You know, it's a little bit of an increase, but it's still a very lightweight set. Definitely insulates, so you'll be able to manage your fuel a lot more. Nice setup there. And then while you're at it, you can take a bit of scrap and just fold over the end here. And that gives you a little pot holder that's lightweight. So, all right, just another fun project, and get a little bit of Reflectix. It's a lot of fun. I'll talk to you all later. Bye now.